So what if I were to tell you that Andor has an extremely high budget that honestly I don't think it really needs or kind of deserves? Now before we get into this video guys, we are on a road to 500 subs. I really appreciate every single last one of you guys. I know I haven't uploaded in a week. That's just because I wasn't feeling necessarily the best, and also Christmas is right around the corner. So any video you guys get after this point will actually be a pre-record from a couple weeks ago. But I just wanted to cover this Star Wars news really fast because this is just insane to me. Andor has a bit of a too inflated budget. I mean, Andor itself cost $645 million. That is just absolutely insane to me. When you think about it, Andor is not some pivotal show. It's not some transformational show that's going to change the fate of Star Wars forever. No, it's absolutely not. Why are we spending $645 million on this show? So as I said, is it a good show? 100%. I mean, it is a good show, but as I said, is it a big transformational show? Absolutely not. So why does it have this high of a budget? Now, the sets, all that stuff looks really good. I mean, the actors, they act pretty well, but overall, it just doesn't warrant a $645 million budget, and it never will personally with Andor. And as I said before, I'm not trying to say that to be, slighting Andor or anything like that. It's just my humble thoughts and opinions towards this. It does not cost this much money to, to have this show. It's not that big. I mean, it's literally 2x the budget of all the prequels combined. I mean, think about that. All the prequels combined. And when I show you the prequels, I mean, look, it still looks like it holds up to modern times right now. And, how do I know this? Because me personally, I've watched the prequels about 4 times over this past week because I've been trying to also get research for videos that I'm coming up with. So stay tuned for that. But also, now that I'm looking at it from a budget perspective, I mean, how does this not look just as good, if not better, than some of the stuff that's even coming out now with Star Wars? I mean, it's really insane when you think about it. And then when you also compare it to a show like, let's say, ObiWan Kenobi, which we all know, the Obi-Wan show ended up being a massive flop and it just wasn't necessarily good. But it's crazy because you bring Hayden Christensen back to play Darth Vader, you bring Ewan McGregor back, and you have this transformative TV show that could have put Star Wars back on the map, and then yet again, you fail in that situation, and you only give it a $90 million budget. Now, I'm not saying that a higher budget would have saved the Kenobi TV show, but I mean, honestly, if you think about it, why does Andor get that, and in a show that could have honestly transformed everything, only gets the minimum budget, essentially? And again, they hired the wrong writers, they hired the wrong directors, everything along those lines. I mean, there's only like 2 episodes of the Kenobi TV show that are actually really good. And then all this does is just create this weird division within the Star Wars community, and it also creates this weird thing of which Andor is now set up to fail, essentially. Because I highly doubt that hundreds of millions of viewers are going to tune in to watch freaking Andor on the release night. I mean, I'll be one of the viewers, but I'm just saying it's not that great of a show to where it's going to be that transformative. So then what ends up happening is they're like, oh, Andor was a fail, so we're gonna have to cancel season 2. And it's like, oh, where did all the money go? It's like, yeah, you freaking spent it all. Now let's go ahead and say, like, okay, let's just pretend that they used actually all $645 million of that said budget. I mean, now you're thinking about it, you have to make over 1.3 billion in order to break even. In order to go even higher than that, you would have to make about 1.9 billion in order to freaking recover all the costs and also make double of what you already spent on the show. And yeah, that's just not happening. I mean, you're just literally setting it up to fail, and it's a good show. And it's just crazy to me because something like the prequels that have literally had half the budget of the total budget of Star Wars Andor, and it was so transformative, so generational, so amazing to Star Wars fans that we're going to be talking about it for even another 60, 70 years after this point. And honestly, it just kind of fires me up even more because, I'm working on my comic book. I'm also working on other things like a small short film, stuff like that. And I guarantee you it doesn't even cost a fraction of the budget that's going to come from Star Wars recently. And I'm almost willing to bet that it's going to be better than it. I just really can't wait to prove everybody wrong when it comes to this, or prove myself right. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that Star Wars Andor really needed a $645 million budget? And again, I'm going to keep prefacing this. I don't think it's a bad show. I just don't think it needs to be that high of a budget. Anyway, may the force be with you. And as always, have a great rest of your day.